opportunity. Baker means a lot to me. Obviously, getting 2 degrees there. I have to admit, I never would have sat in your places, though, being inducted into an honor society like this. Was not that good a student, as it worked out. But I learned an awful lot from Baker University, not just the classroom, but from the relationships. And when I talk to people, particularly the people that went through my MBA program with me too, we talk about how we learned so much more from each other through the 24-month curriculum there. Having the different companies from Kansas City represented in that classroom, we've just learned so much good, practical, real world information from each other. So it was, I just wouldn't trade it. And I think that you're going to look back in 20 years, probably even sooner than that, because I know I did, and really believe that, gosh, I just wouldn't trade this for anything. So it's, obviously, really weird times. I congratulate you all on this induction tonight, and it's just kind of surreal. We've all these different terms that we're hearing these days, an abundance of caution, or and so forth. It's just surreal what we're going through. But this is going to be a great opportunity for all of us, later on in the different professions, or the volunteerism that we're doing. It's going to be a great opportunity for us going forward. So, she kind of went over my background. I started, my degree at Baker was physical education. So I went to work for the Boy Scouts of America. And that was just a great experience, putting me involved with community leaders that I might not have had the opportunity to had I done something else. And my first district was in Lawrence, Kansas. So I was interacting with business leaders in Lawrence, and the stay-at-home parent that was working with their Cub Scout den. So it was a good broad mix of the community, and that was a great experience for me for things going forward, to try and be able to work with people going forward. A story I like to tell before I really get going here, though, too. In 2015, as we talk about this surreal time that we're in 2015, March of 2015, we're in the middle of the presidential primaries, and I had the opportunity to go to the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department Foundation dinner. And the keynote speaker that they had there was someone a little more prestigious than me, retired General Stanley McChrystal, who had been commander of Allied forces in Afghanistan under Obama. And as you recall, March of 15, we're still in the primaries, and people are wondering, really, is what's going on in our country? And no matter, I'm trying not to be political about that, but it was just an interesting time. And so anyways, General McChrystal took questions after his keynote speech, and I'll never forget, we were kind of sitting in the back of the ballroom at the Mulebach Hotel, and the way the lighting was, I saw this man stand up, and he kind of threw his hands up in the air, and his question was, what the hell happened to us? And there's laughter, and everything dies down, and he scratches his nose and looks back, and he says, and this is kind of ironic for where we are today, he says, I think what has happened in our world, in our country, is that not enough people are willing to wear the Shroud of Citizenship anymore. And I don't mean just a military uniform. Too many people think that they've done their civic duty by voting and paying taxes. And I think that's really compelling. The whole Shroud of Citizenship is kind of ironic today, as we're all out searching for masks to wear for when we go outside. But it was really compelling to me. I did a lot of volunteering before, but I look back at myself again, thinking, okay, what else do I need to be doing? And where am I not doing it right, and not inspiring people enough to be able to step in and do the things that our community needs, in addition to what we might ask our government to do. And so at that point in time, I was president of the Spencer C. Duncan Make It Count Foundation, and we have a 5K run every year in August that we would raise about $100,000 a year at. We've raised over $600,000 the last few years, and put money into education for the veteran that's transitioning from their military life to civilian life, and have provided funding at Baker, at the University of Kansas, UMKC, Johnson County Community College, Cleveland University of Kansas City, the Cleveland Chiropractic School, and the University of Central Missouri, and then the PTS recovery, the Battle Within, and homeless programs, which is where I met Carol, was at the St. Michael's Veterans Center when they were having their stand down, their annual stand down event. And when you get down and you do things like at stand down, you get to see, people on just, the people become more human. The things that we talk about the homeless or whatnot, or we talk about PTS, but when you get in and get involved, you start to see the humanity and those relationships that get built there too, which, going back to my time at Baker and the MBA program, relationships are really so important. So as I move forward, became president of the Battle Within. And the thing that we do there is we help people try to help themselves. We hold a safe place for them. It's a little bit like a cast, a broken bone, a cast on a broken bone doesn't do anything to heal the bone. But what it does is it holds a safe place for the healing to occur, and which is a lot like your experience at Baker. At least it was like my experience at Baker. I don't want to speak for you. My experience at Baker was that, the people around us, the instructors, the people that your colleagues in class and so forth, your classmates, all help hold a safe place, and there's no judgment in the learning process. We're all kind of moving along together, and so the Battle Within is similar in holding that safe place. But what we're doing there is helping someone heal holistically, and it's back to Spencer Duncan. Megan Duncan, when they started the foundation, she would say, and still says, that if we can give hope to just one person, we can change a life. And if we can change a life, we can change the world. And your education at Baker, again, very similar, that, you've got hope, you've had this opportunity, and instructors that believe in us, and our classmates that believe in us, give us hope and allow us to move forward. And whether we're using the analogy, the metaphor of the healing together, educating together, or that hope, we're all moving forward like that. So, but one thing that I'd encourage you is that, I haven't really talked about my professional life, because that doesn't really define me anymore. People, you go somewhere and you're at a cocktail party. What do you do? Well, I'm an investment advisor. But anymore, what I have done is I don't really let my profession define me anymore, because as you get out, you find that you're so much more as you get out and get active in your community, that it doesn't have to be achievements or anything. It's just that your heart being involved, makes the world go a lot better. So whatever your skill might be, whether, for me, it's telling stories of people that we've been able to assist in these programs, and twisting arms a little bit to say, hey, look, you can give me $5,000 to help make this happen, can't you? And thankfully the answer is yes, quite often. So telling the stories, but being part of the program too, I've gone through the Battle Within myself. It's a week-long holistic healing, so I'm able to tell that story a little more passionately than obviously if I had not. So as you get out and you take those steps professionally, take a look around you and look at the things. And it may not be right away, because jobs can be very they can be all consuming, and young families, as people were logging in, I saw someone with their son in the background. Our families can be all consuming, but take a look around and see what else is out there, and you'll find that your job isn't going to define you, so that when you're out somewhere, someone says, what do you do? And I'll just kind of laugh inside myself anymore, and say, well, gosh, let me tell you what I do. And people will ask me, so you work here? No, I don't get paid to do this, but this is what I do, and this is who I am. So, I'd leave you kind of with one thought here. My Jewish friends have shared with me a Hebrew saying, tikkun olam, which means to repair the world. And maybe it means even more so today than it did, a few months ago, as we got started talking about having me come to speak here. But I look at that, I think about several things as I go through my day. As I think about the Shroud of Citizenship that Dail McChrystal thinks, and I believe that we all need to wear. And I think about, if we can give hope to just one person, we can change a life. If we can change a life, we can change the world. And then the ancient Hebrew saying, tikkun olam. What is it that we can do, outside, with our work too, but outside of that, what can we do to go out and help to repair the world? Because right now, as we come out of this, there's going to be a lot of repair to do, as people, we've got this record unemployment now. We've got, businesses that are going under, and there are people that are they're not going to have jobs to go back to. So we need to be able to reach out to them and be able to help connect them with other opportunities and to repair the world, to tikkun olam. So I really appreciate the opportunity. I cannot say that enough. Baker means a lot to me, and God bless you, and good luck going forward.